You ever finish a K-drama, the credits roll, and you're left with this lingering feeling, not just a fondness for the story, but a profound connection to a character. The feeling where you think, I don't just like this character, I want to be them.
참아. 참았다가
Serve them, ride for them,
굵게 울어, 굵게.
like it's my full-time job. And it's more than just admiration. It's an inexplicable clue of recognition of something within yourself that resonates deeply within their essence. Yeah, that's me. And if you're here, chances are you get it too. This isn't just a list of iconic K-drama characters. This is my top 10 K-drama characters of all time up to this point of this video. Not just because they're legendary or universally beloved, but because they reflect on things I admire, the parts of myself I relate to, which might be a little scary, or even the secret desires and strengths I wish to cultivate. There are characters who, long after the final episode, continue to occupy a prime piece of real estate in my mind, influencing my thoughts and even my perspective on life. And before we start, yes, some of these characters are going to be controversial. Yes, I'm putting villains on pedestals. And yes, my fellow K-drama addicts, we're about to expose exactly what kind of chaos lives in my head. Let's expose the obsession. At number 10, we have the legend, Chief Hong, played by Kim Son-ho from the K-drama Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. He's the most reliable man in the village, the ultimate jack of all trades, something like myself, of course, and he doesn't brag about it once. Whether he's fixing someone's roof, helping with boat repairs, or just being there when people need advice, Chief Hong embodies the quiet competence that makes everyone feel safe. What I love most about Chief Hong, or Hong Do-sik, is his profound humility and selflessness. He moves in silence, helps without asking, and genuinely doesn't need applause or recognition for his endless acts of kindness. He's the definition of quiet strength, a man whose presence alone brings comfort and stability to an entire town. In a world that often celebrates the loudest and most visible, he reminds me of the immense power and beauty in simply being present and dependable, something I respect deeply and I strive for in my own life, despite my appearance and the gimmicks that I find fun for whatever reasons I find them fun for. But here's the thing. If you think a wholesome village handyman is an interesting choice for top 10, just wait until you see what made my top 5. And we're about to get real unhinged because, folks, I like a variety. At number 9, we have Jang Man Wol, played by IU in the K-drama Hotel de Luna. And folks, it's hard for me to pronounce these names, so bear with me. I could have just stuck with character names. I'm like, nope. We got to recognize the goats and give it an effort. Anyways, she is rich. She is cold. She is stunning. Manuel is a character who wore her pain like the most exquisite culture, daring anyone to come close enough to see the vulnerability beneath that glittering facade. Every outfit was a statement, every sharp word a carefully constructed barrier.
객잔 아니고 호텔, 델루나.
A testament to centuries of solitude and unresolved grief. She made emotional distance look not just desirable, but almost necessary for survival. And I admired how she transformed her immense loneliness and ancient burdens into a unique form of power, forcing people to earn her rare moments of softness and genuine connection. It wasn't about being unapproachable. It was about protecting a deeply wounded heart and watching her slowly open up. Sorry, I actually got emotional on this one. I gotta stay thugging. It was about protecting a deeply wounded heart and watching her slowly open up. That was one of the most rewarding character arcs. She taught me that sometimes the most beautiful things are forged in the fires of adversity, and that true strength can be found in embracing your past while still moving forward. Even reading that got emotional because a lot of the things I do, the way I carry myself, I laugh when it's inappropriate, etc., 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 etc. No matter how you cut and dice it, these are various methods of protecting my heart, myself, my vulnerable side, and that is what it is. I won't go too deep on it, but I'll let you know when something is touching me like on a personal level, and that was one of them. At number 8, we have a legend. We got Ko Moon Young, played by So Yong Jin from the K-drama It's Okay Not to Be Okay. Beautiful, unhinged, brutally honest.
아이 씨발 존나 깜짝 놀랐네. 닥쳐 이거라 이 새끼야. 안 닥쳐?
Ko Moon Young wasn't just trying to fit in. She was too busy being unapologetically real, carving out her own space in a world that often demands conforming. Her directness, her refusal to sugarcoat reality was like a breath of fresh air in a world full of pretense. I respected her not for being crazy, as some might label her, but for owning every single facet of who she was without an apology or compromise. She challenged societal norms and expectations with every sharp word or piercing gaze. And let's be honest, she had all of us questioning our own standards, wondering if perhaps a little more honesty and a little less pretense might be exactly what we need. Her journey of healing and self-acceptance, while unconventional, was incredibly powerful and inspiring. She showed us all that being different isn't a flaw, it can be a superpower. Can I just say she was iconically gorgeous? Every outfit, the way she looked, the power, her just wanting to make you hers, absolutely stunning. And we have to just face that. Sometimes it's as simple as that, much less including all the additional fluff and everything I added about how dope her character was. She is also incredibly beautiful. Now, things get contested around here, guys. Things are getting very contested. The numbers aren't so strict anymore, okay? At number 7, just because I gotta put people in a spot, we got Hae In, who is played by my favorite actress, Kim Ji-won, in the show Queen of Tears. She's a force of nature in a silk dress, a woman who commands attention, not through volume, but through her sheer presence and unyielding spirit. Whether facing corporate boardrooms or personal crisis, she handled everything with quiet dignity that was truly awe-inspiring. She even got me to calm down. When Kim Ji-won is in the room, I gotta recognize and pay my respect. So I'm calming down to recognize this queen. She stood tall in a collapsing world, a beacon of resilience amidst chaos. She didn't beg, she didn't plead, she didn't crumble. What did? She endured. Her strength wasn't about physical prowess, but inner fortitude that allowed her to face adversity head-on, protecting those she loved and fighting for what she believed in. The kind of elegance under fire, that unwavering resolve in the face of despair, is incredibly rare. It's unforgettable, and it's a quality I deeply admire and hope to emulate when life throws its inevitable curveballs. And just to say, again, this is about Kim Ji-won. She was absolutely stunning. I like the way that she portrays confidence. It doesn't matter what her role is, whether she played Hae In in Queen of Tears, whether she was in Fighting for My Way, whether she was in Descendants of the Sun. It's her cadence, her way of speaking. She is phenomenal, and she does a very good job at letting you know that she is the most talented or among the most talented in a given room. Whether or not you're going to give her a chance or not, you can hear it. You can always tell that girl is special, and she brings that to her roles, and that's why I love the character Hae In, while Kim Ji-won is my number 1 actress. Okay, pause. If you're still here, you clearly have an excellent taste in K-drama content. But also, we're about to enter dangerous territory, folks. My top 6 is where things get spicy, controversial, and honestly a little unhinged. Don't say, don't do it. Don't say that I didn't warn you. Be ready if you're going to take the time to listen. At number 6, we have Kim So Young, who's played by Shin Hae Soon in the K-drama Mr. Queen. Now this one, a queen and a menace, a whirlwind of chaos, all wrapped up in one magnificent body. The soul of a modern man trapped in a Joseon queen. The way she navigated court politics with modern sensibilities while trying to survive in a completely foreign world was pure comedic genius mixed with unexpected depth. She was loud. She was hilarious, incredibly clever, and utterly unpredictable, yet still managed to be graceful and deeply moving when it truly mattered. She showed me that being weird, bold, completely out of place can still be profoundly royal, even revolutionary. She didn't just break the rules, she wrote an entire playbook, defied every expectation, got crowned anyways. Her journey was a masterpiece in adapting, thriving, and finding your own unique power, even when you feel like a fish out of water. Honestly, we could all use a little more of that. I don't belong here. I'm gonna make it work anyway. Energy. Now, if I can just be frank, what I appreciated about her was there's no way of sugarcoating it. She thought like a man. So like, she liked girls, and I was like, I like girls too. And then when things would happen, like, you know, guys and girls were wired differently, and sometimes we're not. It all depends what you believe in 2025. But just for the simplicity of what I'm trying to say, we're wired differently. So she would have the thoughts that I would have because a dude in the body of a girl, and the thing got really confusing, but I just liked it. And I found myself when I reacted to the show, and I'm like, yo, I think this is one of the best girls I've seen. And then my co-host is like, it's a man. It's like, this is a relieving character. I really like her. Anyways, let us continue. At number 5, we got Kang Bit Na, played by another GOAT of mine, Park Shin Hye, the actress in Judge from Hell. She didn't just punish evil, she made you watch yourself fall apart, meticulously dismantling the facades of the guilty with chilling precision. Her courtroom presence was absolutely stunning in its cold resolve. Divine vengeance personified, always implicitly caressed, her demeanor as sharp as her intellect. She had this calm, unnerving, I don't need to raise my voice to destroy you kind of energy. Every word was measured, every action delivered, every judgment delivered with an icy clarity that left no room for doubt or appeal. Watching her deliver justice was like watching karma arrive early, always dressed beautifully. She represented a fantasy of absolute, unyielding justice, a force that can cut through deceit and deliver consequences with surgical precision. Her unwavering commitment to her own twisted sense of right and wrong was both terrifying and undeniably compelling. And yes, I said what I said about finding a literal demon judge attractive. Come for me in the comments. Now, as an actress, Park Shin Hye, in my opinion, is beautiful. I think, I'm just going to say without saying I think, I know she is in the top 5 most beautiful Korean women as far as I'm concerned. She is stunning. She's gone through an incredible journey. I've read about it. I'm not going to bring it up in the comments, but people have been hating on her. You know, body image is important, but any form that she took, even the form that society is like, oh no, work on yourself. I loved every stage that I have witnessed her on. She is phenomenal. And the way she does her voice, which I can't do, it's this cold, evil, I'm going to slit your throat if you try me the wrong way voice. It's phenomenal. Very easy on the eyes. So Park Shin Hye is an actress, even though I've only been exposed to her once in the K-drama, phenomenal. Okay, guys, we have another one, and it's Shim Cheong, played by the actress Joon Shi-hyun from the K-drama Legend of the Blue Sea. She was naive, unfiltered, and accidentally brilliant. navigating the complexities of the human world with a childlike wonder and innate honesty that was disarming.
아까도 내 손 잡아준 거지, 내 걱정돼서.
지금 내가 너 야단치잖아. 길 건널 때는 양 옆을 좀 보고 건너라고.
Her genuine confusion about human behavior and her inability to understand deception made her every interaction both hilarious and endearing. What pulled me in was how she saw the world so honestly, so purely, that it disarmed everyone around her, forcing others to confront their own truths. She didn't need a plan. She didn't even strategize. She just existed in truth, and things naturally bent to her unique vibe. Her unwavering loyalty and her genuine heart cut through all that noise. It reminded me of how authenticity can be its own kind of power, a profound magnetic force that draws people in. No schemes or manipulations needed. She taught me the beauty of seeing the world with fresh eyes and the strength in remaining true to yourself. But if you think a pure-hearted mermaid is controversial for number 4, wait until you see my top 3. We're about to get into villain territory, and I'm not apologizing for it. But first, I appreciated the gimmicks that this actress brought to the character. 20 episodes of non-stop fresh gimmicks. While she started as a very feral raccoon-like being as far as, being caught eating this man's food, even as she matured, she still had a gimmick that made sense for her new state of maturity, and it lasted until the franchises ended. It was always refreshing, and I think she was absolutely hilarious in her role. And I'm not one to find a lot of the comedies funny when people recommend me things that they think is funny, but this was actually funny. So definitely my top 4. Things about to get crazy. Now, before we continue, I had to really think about this because I was thinking of the homie Sanjaya from Lovely Runner. I thought about my homie from Itaewon Class, the male lead, who also played in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. There's a lot of homies who I thought of. But if I was going to be true to myself, I had to go in the direction that I'm going right now. And we are going to do it. So, at number 3, we have the homie, the one and only, Joo Dan Tae, played by Ki Jun in the K-drama Penthouse. This man, folks, he was the devil in a tailored suit, master manipulator, and I found myself studying every single one of his ruthless moves. The way he orchestrated complex schemes while maintaining that calm, calculating demeanor was both terrifying, scary, what I don't need to say terrifying and scary, but terrifying and appalling is what I want to say, and impressive. The audacity, the precision, the sheer terrifying competence. He wanted to build a skyscraper with his name at the top, a monument of his insatiable ambition, and somehow I respected it. His sheer audacity, his meticulous planning, his unwavering focus on his goals were terrifyingly impressive. He was manipulative, utterly ruthless, and always 5, sometimes 10 steps ahead of everyone else, orchestrating complex schemes with chilling efficiency. But deep down, beneath that veneer of pure evil, it was about legacy, about control, about proving his dominance in a world that he felt wronged by. He represented the dark ambition in all of us that whispers, I want to win at all costs. Pushing the boundaries and shattering norms to achieve ultimate power, his character was fascinating while also disturbing. The exploration of unchecked desire and the lengths one will go to achieve it. And yes, my K-drama addicts, I know this is a red flag, but we're not here to judge. We are here to understand the chaos. What I especially like about Joo Dan Tae, he was a flawless villain in this perspective. Many villains, their downfall is they observe something and they brush it off. Not Joo Dan Tae. Joo Dan Tae would watch 2 people randomly having a conversation and like, those 2 don't normally converse. Look into that. She looked into any and everything that had no business looking into, looking for an opportunity, looking for a weakness, looking for a potential scheme working against him. He had his hand in everything. He had his people looking into every little detail. He left no stone unturned. That's why he was a very powerful villain to deal with. And on top of that, he was ruthless. There was no holding back. He looked into any and everything without holding anything back when he found someone that he needed to remove from this board. Anyways, at number 2, Penthouse is securing 2 people from the same franchise. We got Cheon Seo Jin, played by Kim So Yong, in the K-drama called Penthouse. She has absolutely had no business making me feel sympathy given her monstrous actions, but she did. The moments when her carefully constructed facade would crack, revealing glimpses of the wounded, desperate woman beneath all that manipulation and ambition, I felt that. I shouldn't have, but I did. She gaslit the audience, pulling us into her twisted reality, and I, for one, let her. What makes her truly unforgettable is that she wasn't just evil. She was complex, multi-layered. She was a piece of desperation, deep-seated trauma, and fierce, almost primal. She had this will to survive and dominate. Her villainy was born from a lifetime of pressure and a desperate need for validation, making her actions, however deplorable, understandable on a human level. She was a force of nature, a tragic figure, and undeniably one of the most compelling antagonists ever written. She made me question everything about morality, sympathy, and the thin line between victim and villain. And that's the mark of a truly exceptional character writing. If you think putting 2 Penthouse villains in my top 3 is unhinged, just wait until you guys see who has claimed the throne. But one more thing, if you guys follow my K-drama reactions, I don't cry. I don't really show sympathy from any character plight, but Choi Yoo Jin, she had me crying twice. That I remember, at least. And her daughter in the same show also made me cry. In the midst of all her villainy and evil, again, you would see the vulnerable her that loved her daughter and or was traumatized by her upbringing, which I don't want to spoil for you guys. And it just had me sympathizing with her. I know what she was doing is wrong, but I felt bad about the circumstances that caused such an evil to pervade, because she was somebody's daughter. You know, I would like to believe that my daughter is going to grow up and be a good human being because I raised her to be a good human being. But you take any one of these sweet girls, probably you, and you give yourself a powerful, abusive father that strips any ounce of goodness in you and just pushes you towards evil, and you have to be more evil to get love, and you never actually get this love, so all you do is just stay evil. You're right. I feel bad for women that have to grow up under those circumstances. And I was just like that. The only reason she's like that is because she didn't have me in her life. But in this sense, I want to be her daddy. Let me not say anything that gets me in trouble. So, let's move on to number 1 on this list. All right, folks, here it is. This is the Empress, the undisputed queen of my K-drama mind, the woman who holds the most pins on my Pinterest board. She's cold, brilliant, elegant, and dangerous. She has never been the loudest voice in the room, never needed to shout to be heard. She simply was undeniably the most powerful. The way she would, let me just say the name so these pictures can start rolling. Number 1 is Choi Yoo Jin, played by the actress Song Yoon-hae from the K-drama K2. The way she could destroy someone's entire world with just few calculated words, all while maintaining the perfect composure that quiet, controlled devastation, that's not just power, that's artistry. I wanted to be her knight. I wanted to be her champion. I wanted to stand behind her as she crushed her enemies with a mere whisper, Cloud9, Lee, get them, a subtle gesture, or a perfectly timed revelation. She had an unparalleled presence and aura of quiet menace and undeniable charisma. She didn't demand loyalty. She made you crave for the chance to earn it, to be part of her inner circle, to witness her genius, her power firsthand. She is everything I admire. Power tempered with profound pain, beauty intertwined with ruthless strategy, loyalty that cuts like a knife yet is fiercely protective, all wrapped up with undeniable edge. She's the final boss, the ultimate chess player, and she lives in my head rent-free. I'm not ashamed to admit it. A constant reminder of the intoxicating allure of intelligent, controlled power. She's not just my number one, she is the blueprint. So yeah, I've definitely got a type. And apparently, it's beautiful chaos with a strategic mind. I like villains with vision, queens with chaos, and loyalty wrapped in beauty and rage. These characters aren't just fictional. They're reflections of complex human nature pushed to their limits, and they leave an inevitable mark. They challenge our perceptions of good and evil, and they remind us that even in the darkest corners, there's a compelling story to be told. We all have that dark ambition, that desire to control, that need to be understood. These characters just aren't afraid to show it. Now I need to know, who is your favorite K-drama character that shouldn't be likable, but absolutely is? Are you team villain like me, or do you prefer the heroes? Drop your most controversial character crush in the comments below. Let me rephrase that. Drop your most controversial character crush in the comments below. Let's compare obsessions, dive deep into their incredible portrayals, and maybe even discover some new characters to live rent-free in our minds. And if you made it through the end of this entire list without judging my questionable taste, I know it started off pretty easy. You probably got a little questionable in that last three. You're my people, folks. You liked this video if you felt that deep connection with these characters. Subscribe for more K-drama dives. Let me know if you want more of these with your comments and your subscriptions. I don't want to just react. I want to share this. And I want to talk more about this Choi Yoo Jin, aka Madam, at the end of K2. I talked about her already, but what I like about her is she started off evil but attractive, and you just knew she was going to potentially be a stereotypical powerful K-drama evil woman, okay? But it seems she took a romantic interest with the protagonist, but he is good and she is bad. It's like the evil queen falling in love with the prince in any Cinderella Snow White scenario. That's not your man, girl. That's the princess's man. But I'm not used to it. When I'm not gonna spoil it, so when there's an opportunity for K2 to have Madam, I'm going to speak general. K2 fans are gonna know what I'm talking about. People who haven't seen it, I don't want them being spoiled. When there's an opportunity for K2 to be her rescuer, so to speak, and you see the face expression, her falling for him, and you see she's drawn closer and closer and closer to him, it made me feel like I could save her, like maybe she'll stop being evil. You know, she's being evil because of her daddy issues, her husband ain't nothing, so that's why she's evil. We can save her. But we find out that for the most part, she is who she's going to be. What cemented her character and actually surprisingly made me like her more, towards the end, she has this moment back against the wall where we think she's about to cave, potentially. And she's like, you guys think you have me? Shout out to my boy Denzel Washington Training Day, because it didn't work out for him and he just got bodied. But not Madam. Back against the wall, she started dropping bodies using Cloud9. She embraced the evil rather than run away from it. That was somehow refreshing everybody when faced with that change, especially someone like her. Not her. She showed me that she wasn't there to be redeemed. Nah, she was who she was unapologetically. She was actually unapologetically. She made no excuses. She said, I'm the person who did it. She never shied away from it. I was the one thinking that she was possibly more innocent than she really was. Nope, that's my madam. So if you don't believe me, follow my Pinterest board. It's in the description of this video. You're gonna be like, yo, that's crazily yes. Because I'm going to be frank, because there's no other way of saying it. There's a plenty of other younger actresses. There's a 25-year-old that plays my demon. Beautiful. You know, we had Kim Ji-won. Beautiful. We got my girls from Twice. Beautiful. But something about Madame from K2, I love looking at her. Even as time has graced her with longevity on this planet, I still just find her just admirable and happy to know that she's alive, aging gracefully. Stunning woman. But her portrayal as Madam, I hope to see more, but most of her K-dramas aren't popular, so I just have to allocate time on my own, I guess. And that's where we are. So hey folks, I want to do more of these videos. But it seems like hypothetically, not really hypothetically, people just watch reactions more. No one wants to see your original thoughts or what you have to say. People just want to watch reactions unless you're a goated YouTuber. Anyways, that's my list. I thank you for supporting me. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to react to all these K-dramas, because I wouldn't have been able to discover this world without you guys. And it's a beautiful world. All right, guys, I am out. Subscribe. Let me know the next video you guys want to hear from me.